How does it feel to be the last man standing of this pace bowling lineup?
Old. Keep getting told that anyway. So, no, it is what it is. Sadly, injuries and fast bowling happen, and it just so happened with 2 men down heading into the first test. But yeah, good to see the depth in the squad. So we know what Scotty Boland can do. Doggy's coming off a hot streak at the moment, and Ness has been around for a while. So is what it is.
Do you take on a bit more of a leadership role with the greener pace bowlers coming through now?
I think we're all pretty clear on what our roles are. So yeah, obviously I've got a little bit more experience there. Scotty's been around for a fair while now, so it's not like I'm telling him what to do. And we've got Paddy in the sheds with us anyway. So yeah, it may take on a little bit of an experienced role, if you like, but we've all been around the traps for a while, so it's just staying together as a group pretty much.
What do you tell them about this ground? Because no one plays Shield cricket here, and you've played a few tests here, mate. Like, is there a hill? Is there a wind that comes? Like, what are the things they need to know?
I miss the whacker. You get the Freo doctor comes in. It's a pretty swirly wind here. It's not really one direction. It kind of can be 3 directions each over. So yeah, it's a nice ground to play on. It's pretty even run up and whatnot. Yeah, there's not too much to take in. It's been probably 5 different wickets across the test matches we've played here. So we'll see how the week pans out with a wicket out there.
They're shorter bowlers than you. Like, has that been spoken about those two potentially, maybe being an advantage in terms of them hitting the stumps on something that would probably be bouncy?
Which bowler, sorry?
Will Boland and Doggett.
Oh, sorry. I haven't spoken about it.
Okay.
I mean, in comparison to Josh and Pat, I'm a skiddier bowler anyway. So yeah, it's all good and well to look at the wicket. Until both teams have played on it, we're not really sure what it's actually going to do. The wickets have had a little bit of out the back, so there's been some sideways and some up and down. So yeah, it's we obviously know that everyone, including everyone here, likes to talk about the pace and bounce of Perth. We've seen wickets here that have been really flat and pretty docile. So everyone can say what they want about the wicket until you've played on it. We won't know what to expect.
Are there lessons you learned from last year in that respect?
On the wicket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
What are they?
I guess we've had 5 different wickets here, as I said. So we've had a flat wicket, a pretty slow flat wicket against the West Indies one year. We had the first test here was one where it cracked up and played it a bit like the whacker used to. Last year we obviously saw the wickets in the first day, and then it got pretty flat. So yeah, you can look at trends and you can look at what's happened. In the end, you've got to play what's in front of you and adapt on the day.
Mitch, was there any time in the 23 Ashes series that England were scoring quickly and you were thinking to yourself, it'd be harder to do this in Australia?
I certainly wasn't thinking anything about playing in Australia while playing in England, though.
Starkey, the first ball of the last home Ashes series has had plenty of traction over the last few weeks with fans reliving it. Can you take us back to that moment as well? Like, the footage is now iconic in Ashes history. Like, what was going through your mind in that moment as you were running in and then the moments afterwards?
Couldn't really tell you about 4 years ago. Can't tell you about a month ago. It is what it is. It's long gone now. Yeah, it was nice to get us started that way, and it's a very different series now. So yeah, I've moved on from that.
What can you tell us about video?
Nope.
Do you got a plan for your first ball this time?
Probably the same as last time.
You're in the net with Brendan today. What do you make of this England? What do you make of this England side, and how does it compare to the sides you faced previous year?
Probably a few guys with less experience playing in Australia, particularly their bowling attack. We know a lot of talks about how fast they're bowling, and they've got 5 or 6 guys that can bowl quick. I'm not sure any of them played. Well, I don't know if anyone played a test match in Australia. So, well, certainly this ground anyway. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen how they played their cricket. We've had a few meetings so far, and we've spoken about how the series is going to pan out for us.
I'm surprised they only played one match here in Australia, and do you think that means they could be a bit undercooked coming into this?
Nah, the international landscape's changed. You look at how we approach away tours as well. The international schedule doesn't allow for 15 warm-up games before series anymore, or you 3 or 4 series, matches or whatever it may be. We played a white ball series against India. England played in New Zealand. So the landscape's changed from 20 years ago when they're talking about playing 3 state games before a test match.
You're in the net with Brendan today. What can you tell us about him? And what have you sort of noticed going back, I suppose, back to 2018 when he was initially around?
Yeah, I remember that tour back in the UAE. I think it was myself, Ness, Doggett and Siddle were on that Pakistan series in the UAE. Obviously, Brendan was a lot younger and rawer then, and we knew what he was about. And since then, he's made the change to South Australia. I think he's come in red hot. He's had a good couple of weeks. We as a group know what he's capable of and the skills that he presents. And being a little bit older than back in 2018, he's probably a little bit more comfortable in his own skin and around the group. So really excited if he gets his opportunity this week to see what he can do on the test arena. And having had him around the group for a while over the years, I think he's certainly a great headspace.
Mitch, you've played a lot of cricket with Steve Smith over the years. Is he more chilled out with his approach to batting now? Or?
I'm not going to pretend to know what his approach about batting is. I think he's a lot more relaxed as a person all round. I think. Well, you'd probably have to ask him on the particular reasons around that. But I think even the times that he's captain since when he's had to fill in for Pat and whatnot, I think it's a different approach. I've obviously spent a lot of time playing with Steve and playing under Steve as captain. I think he's still as sharp as ever with his mind about what he wants to achieve or how he thinks about the game of cricket. I just think, particularly off the field, I think he's a little bit more relaxed in his approach and still has that competitive beast and still wants to be the best and still will leave no stone unturned. But I think he's finding a few outlets to actually switch off from time to time, and whether it's around the golf or just not be cricket 100% of the time, which I think's keeping him going, but keeping him a bit more relaxed.
From what you've seen of Paddy in the nets in the last couple of days, do you think he's a serious show for Brisbane?
Can we get him in this week? Yeah, I think so. Probably understand why he doesn't train much, because when he does, he makes us all look silly. So no, he was really, really sharp the other day, and sounds like he's pulling up pretty well. So very positive signs.
Mitch, given Australia can't really afford to lose another paceman, is yours now the most important body on the team? Are they kind of hovering around you, making sure you stay fit?
I don't listen anyway. I'm not someone who's going to bowl with myself or be cautious with anything. So it is what it is. You can't prepare for Test 3, 4 and 5 without playing the first one. So we're all focused on this week. It'll be handbrake off and away we go. So yeah, it is what it is.
Mitch, just to get your initial insights on the pitch very briefly, just for the mics over here, because I think we missed it before.
Okay. I'm not going to pretend I know what or how to read wickets until they're played on. I think it's been a fair bit made about the colour of it, and it's going to be a green mumbo. I think it's probably ready to go now. So I don't think you'd expect to see as much as you all anticipated to do.
Jake's been around the squad for a few days now. What are you seeing from him, and what can we expect if he gets his debut on Friday?
Yeah, bowled a little bit to him today. It was a pretty hard for net today with Doggy and myself. But no, look, he looks like he's a pretty assured in what he wants to get done, and I haven't seen a lot of him play. I don't know if I've played much at all against him. So no, look, he certainly comes across as someone who knows his game plan and knows what he wants to get done. So yeah, if he gets the nod this week, I'm sure he's ready to go.
Thanks, Carl. There are obviously some more obvious matchups, I guess, particularly with some of their batters who've been around for a while, whether it's Joe Root or Ben Stokes or whatever. And it sometimes seems that between your bowling attack, you just know, okay, this guy's in, this is when I go in. How much does that whole thing change now with the new guys coming into the attack?
You'll have to ask Steve how he wants to shuffle and change. I know my role and what I'm looking to achieve this week, and certain plans to certain guys. So yeah, we're very focused on what we can do individually and as a collective, and the roles we need to play in that group.
Mitch, how keen are you to bowl the first ball of the series? Obviously, with that history that you've got, are you the kind of guy who says, rather than sit up and watch someone else have a go, you'd like to get the ball in hand and be the guy to set the tone for the whole series?
happy to bat and watch the score runs.
Any sense
there's a huge amount of anticipation back in England about this series. It feels like this is a sort of culmination of England's journey under McCullum and Stokes' leadership. Can you just talk about what it means to you, the Ashes rivalry, to you at the team?
It's been a fair bit made of it in the last few months. I think we've all been focused on our own thing and what we can do as a team. Obviously coming into camp this week has been, I guess you start to get into that headspace of the day one, I suppose. Yeah, it's obviously we all know the history and what it means to play an Ashes series, what it means to win an Ashes series. There's probably been a lot made outside of both groups than there have been inside the group. I'd say we're a pretty level group in the last few years and business as usual. So I'm sure there's certainly a sense of occasion and no doubt there will be on day one. At the moment it's preparation stage. It's do what you need to do when you leave the ground, switch off and relax and get ready to go.
Any sense of who may take the new ball with you?
Don't know.
You planning to play all 5?
Yep.
You confident that you're in a good spot?
It's playing every year, yep.
Mitch, how do you feel about your batting at the minute? And do you feel like there's a bit more onus on it? There's no Paddy down there?
Yeah, I've been trying to get rid of the number 8 for a while and now I have to go back there. So you all think we fight to bat higher up the order. We all fight to get lower. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's obviously losing Paddy there, we all shuffle up a little bit. And then depending on, well, actually, we might not actually. If Ness bats, I certainly think he's a better batter than I do. So yeah, whoever gets the nod, the tail or the lower order will make up what it is. And we know how important, how beneficial contributions there can be to first innings, second innings, setting up a total, whatever it may be. So yeah, that'll play a part. I'll keep working on it.
We'll wrap it up in a sec, folks.
Mitch, usually Ashes series kicks off in Gabba. It's usually advantage Australia. Do you think it's the same advantage here?
Don't know, we'll find out in a week, won't we? Don't listen to players, we would have liked to start in Brisbane too.
Mitch, you had 4 seasons in one day today with lightning stopping training and all that sort of thing. We've got a bit of rain on the radar in the coming few days. What have you made of the weather in Perth?
It's probably a little bit different to what you're used to in Perth. We had a warmish couple of days earlier in the week, and then looking ahead, it's probably not going to be as warm as what you might think Perth or a Test match in Perth is going to look like. So can't control the weather. We'll just prepare for day one and adapt on the roll.
Is lightning stopping training something that's a regular thing?
2 warm-ups for training is not a usual occurrence, no. But that's okay. Get on with it.
How are you feeling ahead of what's going to be a massive series?
Yeah, really excited. Obviously the build-up's been big and you know, it's the Ashes, so it's huge, so I'm very excited.
What does the Ashes mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, it's always been watching it. So to be here in Australia is a bit surreal.
And you've had a great start to your Test career. Is this the biggest challenge, biggest test of you that you've come up against yet?
Yeah, 100%. You know, it feels like we've been building up to this series for a while, and since I've been in the team. So yeah, this will be a huge test for all of us.
Have you been hearing all the chat about the pitch? There's all kinds of talk about what it's going to do and what fun and games awaits as a fast bowler. Are you up for that?
Yeah, I've heard a bit about it, but don't try and think about it too much. I mean, we'll come here on Friday and see and yeah, we'll go from there.
As a paceman, there's been probably less attention, good and bad, paid to you versus say Wood and Dr. Archer. Is that, I guess, a mistake from the Aussies? Are you England's silent threat? Should they be scared?
Not sure it's a mistake. I mean, Jofra and Woody are amazing bowlers, and they'll be huge for us this series. So, you know, it's been like that a bit throughout my career so far, sort of in the background, and it's I don't mind it at all. Yeah.
Gus, we just heard Mitchell Starc discuss, or was asked about the Gabba being the historical home for the first Test, and said that the Aussies would probably prefer to start the series at the Gabba. Do you guys feel that's an advantage to you, sort of to start here where there aren't as many scars per se?
Well, I think there's a few of us who haven't really played many Test matches in Australia, so you know, there are no scars for me, but for some others, I can't really speak for them, but history would say it's probably a good thing we're not starting at the Gabba.
How much Test?
Travis Head's had a number of big summers for Australia here. What do you think can stop again this summer?
I'm not sure. We'll see. He's obviously a world-class player and a very dangerous player. And I think, you know, as quickly as he can score, he can also give away some chances. So we'll just have to take those.
Gus, how much Test cricket have you watched in Australia, back home, watched in Australia, and have you kind of thought, like, I wouldn't mind having a role on some of those compared to what you do play on at home?
Yeah, I haven't watched loads. You know, you hear about it in the past and you say, oh, pace and all that, but obviously hearing lately a bit more seam movement. So I think for me personally, you know, it's nice to hear about seam movement out here. So that's something that I'm looking forward to.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Do you speak to Jimmy and Stuart, who are your greatest bowlers? That wonderful careers, so many wickets, but it was very difficult for them out in Australia. Do you speak to them about adjustments that you might have to make?
No, I haven't really spoken to either of them about anything. I don't really like to get too many ideas in my head before I go out and play. So yeah, I just focus on what's ahead of me and the pitches we'll get moving forward.
So you guys sort of mentioned not a lot have played out in Australia. Is that technically could be a good thing because it's a fresh experience for the group?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've obviously got a lot of players who have played a lot, like Bruty and Stokesy and stuff. So, you know, we can speak to them if needed. But no, I do think it's a good thing that a few of us are coming in with not too much experience here.
Do you feel like you have an advantage in terms of the lower order batting, particularly given Australia don't have Pat Cummins and you guys obviously do bat pretty deep?
We haven't really thought about that. I mean, hopefully the top order can sort of score the runs, but yeah, I mean, lower order runs are so valuable. So I'm sure that's what we'll be looking to do, and hopefully we can try and let the lower order not score too many runs.
Gus, how's Jofra Archer going? Do you feel he's done enough prep to be in the mix to play this week?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's fresh and he's good to go. Yeah.
How are you enjoying the warm weather? Is it something that you like?
Yeah,